Oh, I think I turned off commenting on this. Maybe I could switch it back on. I might want to keep it off though for this. So I'm kind of I'm making an executive decision right now. Hold on, let me ask. Pronto. Sí. Scusi? Sì. Sì. Oh, prego. Ciao. Uh, I don't actually speak Italian, right? Um, but I watched a lot of Fellini movies. It's so beautiful, right? So this was made by an artist. I don't know their name, but I'm sure if you called, they'd be happy to tell you. There's a place in Asbury Park. I love the whole concept of this place. I'd love to actually do a residency there at some point or like take classes or whatever. I've never done glass blowing, but if I was gonna do it, this is probably where I'd maybe start. It's like, so they offer like all sorts of classes, parties, etc., in this really amazing town, which I hesitate to tell people about because I lived there right when it changed and got like really busy and like super cool and fancy and expensive um and then we moved. That happened literally every place I've lived in the last decade. We moved there, it was not cool, it became cool, we moved. We lived there, it was not cool, it became cool, we moved. We didn't usually move because it became cool, but like honestly, we liked the places before they did become cool. So my kid has really good taste, and she picked this out. This is totally not related to what I'm going to be doing today. Um, but she picked it out, and it's beautiful. And so what their concept is that they have classes and parties, and there's a gallery in the front, and then there's an open studio in the back where there's always an artist like making glass, like always. It's like somebody's always working in there. If it's open, somebody's working. The cool thing about this piece, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Listen, you hear it? I'm not doing this as like a ASMR thing, but it's really cool. I'm just doing it. So when you hold it up to your ear, and this part I can't replicate for you. But my kid has such good taste. Like, the artist was actually there that day, and she came out, and she was like, because the owner of the shop or the guy who was managing it or running it, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a great piece. The artist is actually right back there." And then he called her up, and then she talked to Lou because that my kid picked it out. Hey, what's going on? Welcome, bonjour, bon matin. Is that how you say it? Matin. Good morning. So anyway, the artist came out and she's like, "Yeah, and it actually sounds like the ocean, and it actually really does. It is literally like." You got to hold it a little different. With Luna's ear, it definitely did. If you get your ear in there the right way, maybe it's like this. Yeah. You got to hold it a certain way, and you get your ear in there, and it literally does. It sounds like a conch shell. All right. Whew. I wanted to turn the comments on. Oh, the comments are on. Wait a minute. Am I on the... Which one am I on here? Am I on two? Do I have two lives going? No. Okay. Okay, never mind. I thought I shut the comments off, but I'm glad they're on. No, I'm not drunk. I've been up since 4 in the morning, idiot. I'm a pot of coffee in. Are you drunk? Which, I mean, it's okay. Honestly, in fairness, there were times where I'd still be drunk at 9 in the morning. Usually it was when I was bartending, though. You know what I mean? I'm not doing any of those kind of things. My lifestyle is much, much different now. I'm just furiously creative. If you don't know, you don't know. I can tell you about it. I took French for a lot of years. Shout out to Madame Osmeyer. God bless her, she's still alive. What a dick. Yeah, I mean, I would say that to you now too. But I still love you and respect you. You're like the Russian, like, pianist in my brain that, like, yells at me when I fuck up when I play. Like, and you're still, like, haunting me. So my mom was a young mom, and, like, when I was in middle school, there was this trend where you would wear, like, jeans and they'd have, like, cutouts with, like, the lace, And my mom was still going out and stuff like that. And I was like 12, and we were poor and I didn't have any clothes, I barely had anything. And she had these like sexy like pants with like the cutouts and the lace in it. And I didn't know like that was not appropriate. Like who and she let me wear it. So I left the house and went to school. And Madam Osmeyer wardrobe like checks me and she was like, "No, you gotta go home or get your mom to bring some clothes down." I think I took the opportunity to go hang out with my grandpa. I was like, "Grandpa, could you come get me?" I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And then we probably went and played pool or something. Um, but she had this ridiculous organizational system too. But in hindsight, as a teacher, as an educator, as a academic, as somebody who was in college for literally 25% of my life, like I would 100% say that her system of study and research was excellent. Yes, actually, I don't know how to do it though. Give me a minute. I would love that. Thank you. You've earned that right. Um, okay. Mm-mm. All right, we'll start with standard moderator. There you go. You have been granted this. Um, I'm gonna play in a minute. Coolly. I don't know how to play Slayer. I don't know Slayer very well, but thank you. I've been meaning. I've like been kind of like exploring that area. One of my dear friends' boyfriends is like really, really into. He's like the coolest person you'll ever meet. He's just. If Eartha Kitt was a man, it would be him. Like that's literally who this guy is. Um, and so he's into a bunch of stuff that like I never and Rob wasn't like Rob and him got off famous. Like they were like both like I'll just name off of like a half a dozen of their things that they liked. Ministry, Judas, Priest, Ozzy, um who's the other one? Oh, the one with the girl who's an awesome like I think she's a bassist. Wait. They sing the song Ribbons. Sisters of Mercy, thank you. Like who am I thinking? So like those are just some of the bands that this person likes, and I don't think I'm doing Adele today. No, I do, but I don't. Adele's fucking hard, man. Today I might try some after this. Today, so here's like this is actually a good jump off of a thing I want to start doing. So I'm getting to a point now where I need to start stepping away from tablature and just learning the songs and being able to play along, or at least practice that more, you know, in addition to whatever I'm doing now, because that's working whatever I'm doing now too. So uh, I'm gonna start listening, as I play, and I might even not like say what I'm playing, and I'll let recognizability be the assessment of whether or not it's all right. You know what I mean? If it's recognizable, I'm happy with it for now. No, I'm kidding, but I'm not. I don't remember which side these go on. All right, so I'm gonna play along to "You Shine On You Crazy Diamond." If you didn't look, kind of down a rabbit hole on this one this morning. I don't know. I've also been torn. I've been struggling with the question of like, did it need words? And I came to the conclusion that, whether or not it was to make it marketable, um, you know, or just to fit the format that the band had already done or of the time or whatever, you know, it made me question, did it need words, because the music really does everything, the instrumental part. But then, I thought about it and I was like, it doesn't matter if it did or it didn't. It has it. And that's the piece it is, Like, you would never look at, like, you would never look at, like, a Degas or Picasso or, Van Gogh and be like, oh, did it need that Scion? You know? Oh, did it need that Azure Blue? Like, you know? Like, there's some things you just don't, I guess, critique in their entirety. So, without further ado, I'm going to start the song and I'm going to try my damnedest to play along. There's also one other thing I wanted to start doing too. And I'm saying this partially to like include you guys in my process and like thinking and stuff, but also just as a, because I go back and I watch my videos and like also as a reminder to myself, like, oh, I want to do this, you know, which is a great, like, it's a great notepad for me in that sense. But so, oh, and chasing back to what I was talking about earlier of my last video, I know this is totally unrelated. I'm going to move on in a second. Okay, two things. I have to finish my last thought. Bear with me for 1 second. And I'm going to take a sip of this delicious coffee. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's just good, even when it gets cold. Another thing I wanted to start doing was listening to songs that I love and using that as a creative jump off. And instead of playing along, using that as a source of inspiration and seeing what comes of it, you know, or how it changes. But that's a little bit later. Then the last thing I wanted to discuss before diving in. So I was just earlier in my last video, for some reason I can't remember the context, I brought up staying in like a Soviet or post-Soviet like apartment building. I can't remember why. We'll watch the other video. And it got me to wonder, like, wait a minute, like, I don't think it was actually ever, like, that region was part of Yugoslavia. And I was like, I don't think that region was ever really, you know, that region was ever full. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I have 2 dogs and a cat asleep. And a kid. I wish I was asleep. I don't think that region was ever controlled by Yugoslavia. You know what I mean? Or not by Russia or the USSR. Yugoslavia or any of those Slavic like countries. So it got me to look it up and I couldn't find it. Like I even thought like maybe pre, you know, imperialist Russia or like, you know, like even before that or something like that they were part of. And I couldn't find anything. Like me, like, and it doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm just not, I have to do further research. But if anybody knows, let me know. All right, here we go. I lost the tab. Oh, and I gotta open Spotify. Bear with me 1 second. Do you guys have any plans or anything special happening this weekend? I don't. It's fucking cold as hell. Do you know how cold it got today? This morning it was -4 degrees here. -4. Blitzwing, you are like the best moderator. Do you know that? Thank you. It's actually refreshing. Do you have like control to like time out people and stuff and block them and ban them? Is there a gallows? Oh, there should be. Oh, YouTube, you should develop that. I want a little gallows graphic where where it has hands and then it has like underneath the name of the user who's in timeout. Wait, is the gallows the ones that have the hands, or what's the one that has the slicer? You could even have the head if you want to get like really grim. That's what the internet's missing. The internet is so good, but it's missing that. All right. Spotify, open. It's like one of those things. I don't know how I lived without. How did I live without knowing about this, like, whole entirety of the song? And I'm sure at one point it played through somewhere I was, you know, and I just didn't hear it. I even think Rob probably played it through because he, you know, he was kind of, him and my friend Deb were like my entryway into the Stones. Like, I just thought she was cool. She still is. She's like one of the coolest people I ever met. She was a little bit older than me, um, and she was is what she was at this when I think back in the day. Um, she worked on a like a aircraft carrier. She was in the Navy and shit. Like back in a time where you had to be a tough chick to be in the Navy. Like wasn't like today. Like sexual harassment was real, real, real then. Like it was bad. Like, but Deb's like the coolest person. And so she liked the Stones, and so I drive around with her a lot back in the day. Like we spent a lot of time together. We were both philosophy majors, and because she liked them, I thought they were cool, and I got to listen to some of them. And then Rob was like, he was an interesting fan. I didn't know he was a fan. And then one day, like, he's watching Give Me Shelter, and like they started like talking. And, like when he would go off on stuff, like, it was hard to get him to like be like to not talk when he was like manic on something. And I get that. I'm similar. And it was really funny when we'd both try to be. Anyway, so he got me into them too. Like, and I like the earlier stuff. Like, I didn't know about the earlier stuff. I knew about like all the like juicy bluesy stuff, but I didn't know about the good juicy bluesy stuff. But the Brit blues thing like blows my mind. Like Fleetwood Mac too. Like I didn't know about their early stuff, and then like it's funny because my friend Norm, like I was like talking to him, like, and I was like, holy fuck, the first Fleetwood Mac album, like, I forget who the guy on it was, like, Eddie something. Man, if I could travel back in time and give somebody a kiss, it would be that motherfucker, man. I don't know anything else about him. Eddie Boyd, I think is his name. But, whew, he can play. And, oh, sing, I think. Does he sing and play? Is it both? I think it's both. Um, Definitely sing. His voice. If I'm not mistaken, his voice is butter. I could be wrong. Like, like I'm just thinking of that. I'm thinking, assuming, and I'm gonna look. Anyway, why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, so Norm, like, he was like, when I brought it up, he was like, oh yeah, that's how I learned about blues. I was like, wait, you learned about the blues from the Brit blues like thing? And like I think a lot of people did. I couldn't wrap my mind around it, like I came to the blues in a different direction. I think I came God, how did I come to the blues? Oh, that's another episode, I guess. Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, he was both. Oh no, he's the pianist. That's it. Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, he's a good pianist. I mean, it's in my head. It's one sound that like it's so everything works together. Like so, but it's not. Also, anyway, I'm jumping ship. I'm jumping the shark or whatever that is. I'm like off track. Here we go. I open Spotify. I'm gonna play now. Thank you for sticking around. What was it? I love the title of this too. And it like, I don't know, it just reminds me of like a lot of thinking about like, thinking about Rob like now and then, he was a complex man. And, he, you know, we both had like a fascination, with the sky and stars and um mine I think was more like I guess like granola spiritual flaky astrology, and his was more like science, physics, and astronomy, which is the same. All right, let's do this. So Cheyenne, on your diamond, like I don't think diamond, I think star, when I and the sound of the synth in the beginning. All right, here we go. I can't hear myself too. I'm gonna start it over. So this is the first. I wish it was just part one. Is there? Do they just have? I just want to hear the isolated part one on here. All right, they don't have it, so I'm gonna just look at the time signature for it or whatever. At what time? What? Okay, 3 minutes and 54 seconds, it says. At least that's what AI says. Let's see. We're starting it over. There we go. Like 3 minutes and 59 seconds, I think it said. Right? I think so. All right, let's do it. Does it repeat there? Or is that just the whole? They don't get, so this one's not giving me the whole thing. And they said that they weren't going to. It just gives you the beat. This chord thing that I'm using is not the tab. It's just, obviously it's not a tab of any sort. Oh, maybe I'm just listening to, that's where I am. Okay, I'm not at the guitar solo part. That's just the flute mini moog. And it's all G minor. Okay, hold on. When does that part end? I'm gonna listen before I switch. Okay. I'm just listening where the guitar comes in. I like a synth flute. That's one of my favorite things about piano, electric pianos and keyboards and synths. I like the horn and flute and xylophone and chime sounds on them a lot. I would seldom ever, and strings too, I would seldom ever play the piano sound on them because I actually despise the piano sound on them a lot. I hate it so much. that first part, it could just be that. It's so beautiful. That could just be a 6-hour loop of that. Oh, here, I'm gonna post a link to the video so you guys know the time. I'm gonna keep listening while I do that. The time signatures and stuff, and you could listen along. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Really. I'm doing all right, thank you. If I don't respond, I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to listen for this part. Oh, no way. Cool, Nepal. Nice. I will listen to Alzheimer's. I'm sitting here like just waiting for the flute solo to end. And waiting for the guitar part to come on and thinking about how I just bitched out when trying the flute part, right? And that's not cool. I should try the flute part. There's no reason I can't attempt what they're doing with the flute moog thing. That's another thing. Rob was a huge fan of the Moog. He actually had a we have a record that was I think it was called Songs to Moog To. It's actually great. Hey Blitz, what's up with the animal thing? Why you keep bringing up the animals? All right, hold on. Let me play. I'm gonna try the flute part now. Are you? We are at college. Are they your roommates? Are you sitting? Are they yours? Are you home? So sorry, the intro. Hmm. Okay. Exactly the two. What is that? The 2 minute 10 point is when the guitar comes in. Where's my capo? Oh, there it is. Shit. Hi, welcome back. Hang tight 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna start that over. Bring it down too. Wait, hold on. so curious. So strange. Hey Emma. Sorry I didn't answer right away. I was just trying to play along with something. Not very long. I've been trying to play guitar forever. I've been trying to play guitar probably since give or take 2004, 2005. But like by trying, I mean I got a guitar, I had a guitar for like a year. I played it, I gave it away to the neighbor's kid next door. Because I was like in the middle of grad school, I had no time for it. It wasn't the greatest one either. It was a good starter guitar, but it wasn't like, it was a good starter guitar for like a kid in kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like to play on and like, mess around with, and then, you know, not to actually play. The neck like always would send it out of tune, so like it would only be in tune for like a minute, which is really frustrating because it was hard to like even begin to understand where to play on like the strings, and like it was early internet still, like um and then years later I got another one. um I think, or I had roommates who had one or something, but I never really played it. I just like messed around with it a couple of times. And then when I started dating Rob, he had one, but like I don't know, I never touched his guitar. I never really played his guitar. And then during the pandemic, he got me this one. Not this one. I don't have. What did I do with the one that he gave me? Do we still have that one? I think I might have given that one away too, sadly. Um, it was a good guitar. We got it at the guitar store around the block. It was, for me, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna play guitar or not. And I did at that time. I wasn't playing like, I was trying to play along with like one of the apps, and like, it wasn't really coming anywhere for me. Like I didn't learn good in that method. And so, and then like I was really focusing on piano, and so that one was also like that was also a good starter guitar, but I didn't like the sound of it. It just like sounded like ugh, sounded you know sounded dead on the inside. Just like me. No, I'm kidding. Good question. All right. I think I may need to I've been doing this too long today. That was about as far as I'm going to go with this one. Hey, you guys have a great day.